like to have a brief chit chat with you about YouTube. I currently right now am at my in-laws' house. Michael had a friend's bachelor party in Wisconsin, and I had to decide between staying in New York City and taking care of Milo by myself for this long weekend, or coming out here with his parents who were gonna be out at their house and spending the long weekend with them. So I decided to come here, and actually my parents decided to join us, and my sister and her fiance and a couple of Michael's cousins. So we've got a full house here, and I have so much help with Milo. It's basically like I am not parenting this weekend because there are so many hands on deck. But that has sort of given me the headspace to think about some of the stuff that I want to share with you guys today. I'm entering this new season in my life. I'm about to move. We have our last month in New York City coming up, and then we're going to be spending a month with Michael's family, maybe 2 months before we actually officially get settled in the house because there are still some renovations happening. So I have a summer up ahead of me that's going to involve a lot of outdoor time, a lot of nature, hopefully a lot of activity, swimming, tennis. I just want to be like rolling in the grass. This is my goal all summer, is to roll in the grass. So I've been thinking a lot about all my different social media platforms and how I post, how I show up. And if I'm being honest, I've kind of been going through a bit of a stage of myself feeling uninspired by my own content. I find myself creating content often just because it seems like the type of content that is fitting for a specific platform, but it's not the kind of content that I watch back and I'm obsessed with. And at different times in my life and my career on social media, I made content that I was obsessed with. And I just want to get back to a space with my platforms where every single thing I post is just so deeply me and is so from my heart and soul and creative energy that the moment I hit post on it, I'm just so excited to put it out into the world. And regardless of how it's received by people, I'm just so excited that it's sitting there on my feeds because I myself would want to go back and watch it. And right now on multiple platforms of mine, there's some content like that, but there's other content that's just not lighting me up. So what I think I want to do is like a little bit of a regroup of what are my various platforms and what is their purpose for me. I aim to create content for other people. I want to inspire other people. I want to entertain other people and educate other people on certain topics. But at the end of the day, if this is going to be a sustainable career for me, I need it to light me up and come from within. I think what I need to do is sit down with a piece of paper and write down Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. These are 3 separate platforms, and a lot of content creators just create content for one of those platforms and then repurpose it across all the others, which is a great way to save time and is a great thing to do occasionally. But I do think that these individual platforms call for different types of formats, and they're very different mediums, and the audiences on them know if you are repurposing content from another platform. Specifically, like if I take YouTube videos and then I cut them for TikTok, first of all, they're not the right shape. It's just not what TikTok is looking for. Maybe if I had 1 million followers and it would blow up every time, but I feel like I have people that have followed me on TikTok for specific TikTok content, so then when I just go ahead and repurpose YouTube videos there, it's not what they signed up for. I just need to rethink a bit. Who am I to my core? What are these platforms to me? How do I want to show up on them? There's conversations left and right about having a niche, and you need a niche, you don't need a niche, it's better to have a niche, it's better to not have a niche, whatever. I very much don't believe that I have a niche because I talk about beauty and health and lifestyle and food and motherhood and clothes and almost everything that's just going on in my real life. And sometimes I think, man, if I just had a niche, people would know what they can expect from me. They'd be coming to my content for one thing. But then I think, I don't want to be pigeonholed into a niche because I like a whole lot of things and my platform is lifestyle. So I just need to share everything that is happening in my life and not pick a niche. I've realized over time that the niche on my platform is me. Then I have to ask myself, well, what about me makes my content different or notable, or like what is niche about me? That's where I've had to do a lot of deep digging as to like, why are people following me? And I actually made a post on Instagram and I asked people what type of content of mine they love. And the feedback I got from people, which is exactly the feedback that my brain gave me when I thought about this. I find that I'm like a very lighthearted person. I like seeing the positive side of things. I bring humor to otherwise not humorous situations situations within reason. I have such an incessant curiosity for all avenues of life and just exploring. I love experimenting. I love making myself uncomfortable. I'm just very curious. And I think that it's that playful spirit that sometimes I haven't been seeing come through in recent content. And I feel like some of my recent content has seemed very polished and just very like aesthetic, or here's a day in my life as a mom. And it's kind of like flat. In my mind, when I watch it back, it's flat. And my life is not flat. My energy throughout the day and the way I approach a day, there's just so much more dynamic ups and downs and laughs and joy. There's just so much more happening in my real life than I often see reflected in my content. So that was a major takeaway, was that I need to be bringing my unabashed, is that the word? My whole, full, rounded personality as a human to my content, so that people can really relate to me and know who I am to my core, instead of me kind of trying to show up a certain way on social media, which I think I was doing unconsciously. Like, I would never have said, oh, I'm trying to be a certain way. When you consume a lot of content and then you create your own, you kind of just start to fall into, okay, what is everyone else doing? Okay, that's what's working. Let me do that. And it's hard to like find yourself, get into your own groove. So we're gonna get back into the Lucie groove this year. I think one thing that is just fascinating about my specific career trajectory in the content creation space is, I think that because I got my start in kind of a roundabout way from how a lot of other influencers got their start, I think that is something that has caused a little bit of confusion in my mind. The way I got my start is that I started making videos for Refinery29 all about lifestyle challenges. I'm sure the OGs know the Try Living with Lucie 5-day challenges. We love that era of my life. I love that era. I look back on it fondly, and I still have a lot of that spirit in me. I think that because my video content was on these very niche topics, I built audiences that came for specific niche things that I made videos about. And then I think that they were somewhat disappointed when they didn't see that type of content reflected in all of my content. So for example, when I did like 5 days of yoga, I got a whole bunch of yogis. 5 days of veganism, all the vegans came. 5 days of, I don't know, eating pizza, all the pizza lovers arrived. I don't know, I think there's a part of my brain that thinks that some of these people came for these niche topics, and then when I went about the rest of my life and wasn't always talking about yoga or wasn't always remaining vegan, I think that the people came and then were kind of like, oh, I followed her for one thing, but now she's not giving me that anymore. And that is the hard part about not having a niche, is that people come to you for something and then you evolve, and you kind of need to make sure that the people are there for you and not for that topic you posted about. I've seen this on TikTok too. I think my TikTok grew massively throughout pregnancy, and I shared a lot of pumping content and breast storage, and now I'm not pumping, I'm not pregnant, so I don't have breast milk anymore. This could just be all in my head. It's possible that a majority of the people who have followed me in the past are here because they watched my content and they resonated with me and my personality, not with the topic I was talking about. That's what I'm hoping for. I hope that's why most people follow me, because that's why I hit the follow button for people. You know, there's very few people on the internet that I follow just for their topics. I mostly follow people for the people. So I hope that's what it is. But my brain, for some reason, keeps telling me that that's why my audience is so segmented, and that I've got these really young people who came for my YouTube experiments, and now that I'm a mom, they can't relate to me. I think what I'm realizing at the end of the day is that when you're on social media and you create lifestyle content, people are gonna come, they're gonna find you from different ways, and everyone's gonna want something different of you, and you cannot please everyone. All you can do is be yourself, show up as you, show people who you authentically are, and if that means some people drop off and go away, so be it. Have a great life. I actually really like when my following number, specifically on Instagram, because that's really the only platform that I tend to lose followers on. TikTok and YouTube only go up. Instagram, when it drops, I actually am pretty pleased, because I feel a sense of, oh, good. That person who came who was not going to be happy with my content, I don't need that person to be part of my community. So I really do feel good when things clear out. And for some reason, like whenever the seasons change, and right now it's very sunny and the flowers are blooming and it's like summer is coming, it's my favorite season. Whenever this happens, I get a renewed sense of creativity, and it's almost like I'm a bear emerging from a hibernation den. It's time to like sweep up my spaces, regroup with myself, and show up on these platforms in a way that is authentic to me. So hopefully that's what you'll be seeing from here on out. I've got a lot of fun stuff coming up. We are moving, we're decorating a house, we're building a family. I have so many fun things happening in my business, a lot of great creative offerings that I'm very excited for. And this is it. This is life. And hopefully you're doing some things in your own life too that are shaking things up, exploring your curiosity. And if you just have this on in the background while you're doing laundry, cleaning the house, doing the dishes, I don't know, maybe you just put this on at night and it's your comfort space as you fall asleep. I really just hope it's bringing you joy and inspiration, and that when you go into your day tomorrow, you are just with it, okay? I am drinking coffee out of a planting pot because I thought it was pretty. My mother-in-law told me, just be careful, don't break it. So I'm being very careful. Let's go hang out with the family. You want to be on my YouTube?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Are you pretending to be Milo?
Yes.
Milo says no to everything. Well, I just wanted to tell YouTube that I'm freeing the nipple.
Thanks for sharing that. I'm getting out.
Okay, bye. I asked my Instagram, what do you guys want to see on my YouTube and my Instagram and my TikTok? And everyone said Allie. That's so kind. Everyone loves Allie, and the truth is, because she moved out of the city before I did, we just don't see each other as much.
But we will very soon.
But we will very soon because I'm leaving New York City. I'm going to be closer to where she is. So we're going to be reuniting soon. But for now, I'm with her over this family weekend, and you guys know she's getting married this year, and I wanted to give her a chance to share a little bit about her wedding planning process and what her wedding is going to be like. So go ahead, sis.
So we honestly don't have that many updates to give because it's sort of in a lull right now because the wedding is not until the winter, and we're doing a smaller wedding that doesn't really require so much planning and, you know, coordination ahead of time. And luckily our venue is really a full service venue, so they take care of catering, and the ceremony and the party is all on site. So it eliminates a lot of the crazy planning decisions that you'd have to make ahead of time. We did choose our florist, we chose our music, and we have sort of the whole vision for the room. I'm particularly excited about the ceremony because it's in a very pretty, intimate space with beautiful, like, tiled floors, and I just think it speaks really well to like what we envision for our wedding as a couple. I think it's just gonna be something that's very uniquely us in the intimacy of it. It's really just like a one night party, and we get our closest friends and family together to have a great night, and it's not really gonna be like an extended full weekend thing, which is exactly what we want. We really just want one night of celebration, and we'll do it our way, and the people who are important to us will be there. As she's saying, like, they're not having a rehearsal dinner with any guests. They're actually just having dinner the night before the wedding with them two and their 4 parents. Their wedding, which is actually on a Friday night instead of a Saturday, is gonna just be like the big party of the weekend, and that's their wedding. Although we're twins and we're alike in many ways, we also are different in a lot of ways, and one way we've always known we're different is kind of our interest in having big wedding festivities, and not even just the wedding day, but like the activities around the wedding. Like, I was a really big advocate for, I don't know what the word is. I was really amazingly interested in having a bachelorette party where, you know, I went with my girlfriends to Aruba, and Allie's actually not having a bachelorette party at all. She's not having a wedding party. She's not having bridesmaids per se. That was actually a fight we once had. We once had a fight because years ago.
Before
I even met Zach.
I know, we don't even fight. We don't normally fight, but we once had a fight because I said to her, when you meet someone and you get engaged, you're gonna have to have a bachelorette party, because I figure, like, I'm gonna be your maid of honor. I'm gonna be the one who's responsible for throwing this. Like, you gotta let me do something. And she really didn't want it. She said no. We had a little bit of a fight, and then we went under a blanket and we made up. we hugged and we made up, and it was over. And so now that she's actually getting married, I'm like, okay, no bachelorette party.
It's just not important to me. Like, we did a nice dinner with our friends to celebrate, or I don't know.
Someone opened the door and now is pretending they're not coming in.
Anyway, that's just not personally important to me as a way to celebrate my marriage to Zach. It is important to me that my friends are at my wedding to celebrate with me, and that we get to dance the night away and have a great time and make lots of memories. but it wasn't important for me to celebrate in that other way.
I went with her to pick her dress, and
I'm so excited
she's
for
getting
my
married in the
dress.
winter, so it's like a wintry style dress, and it is so gorgeous, you guys. She looks like a model, like a stunning model straight out of Vogue.
So I didn't have the clearest vision of exactly what I wanted going into my wedding dress, but the consultant at Kleinfeld, her name is Debbie. She is such a darling. She immediately got to know what my taste would be and what would look good on me and suit my, expectations of what I wanted out of a wedding dress. And I was just blown away with what I found. And I think it's really me.
I shared a little picture on my Instagram. She said yes to the dress, but you'll have to tune back in December to see the final. And that's another thing, she's not having a videographer, just a photographer. So I would upload her wedding video to my YouTube channel, but instead what I will do is a recap video of her wedding. I'll talk about it and share scenes from the day, and then I will show the beautiful photography because she's gonna have a great wedding photographer.
I'm really excited about our photographer. We just found her through the venue because she's worked at the venue in the past. Yeah, we're very excited.
Yeah, we got a lot of weddings coming up. We have Michael's sister, our brother, 2 other friends, and then this one. So Milo is going to be a little ring bearer for 3 weddings this year.
The other thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Oh, you're not having a ring bearer? Oh.
It's not that we don't want Milo and Zach's niece to be part of the wedding. We're not having kids at the party, which you guys knew and prefer, because I don't think you want to be babysitting him the whole night. We think you guys should just, when you walk down the aisle, you walk down with Milo.
Yeah. No, this is what I thought. I don't particularly care at all whether the bride and groom send Milo down the aisle alone or with other kids or with me, so long as he's wearing his cute little tux and he's at the event. I just think it's so cute to have little boys and girls at the event. But then, not of course, because I know not everyone does this, but in our case, send them down the aisle and then whoop, they're out of the room so that they're not crying and taking away from the ceremony.
It was also more important for us to present you guys with that option and let you make that decision. Obviously, you don't want a screaming baby in the middle of your wedding ceremony, but we want you guys to be able to be present and enjoy it rather than worrying about what might go wrong with the baby.
On the parents to be babysitting and feeling stressed that the baby, you can't control if a baby's gonna cry. So I love this. I cannot wait for your wedding. My big sis, my 1 minute older big sis is gonna be a Mrs.
I'm gonna be a wife.
And then one day you'll have a baby. No pressure, no rush.
Yeah, right.
But one day you'll give Milo a little cousin and all will be swell.
Yeah, we're excited.
Let's go have a snack. Can you say it again? 18 months?